In this next exercise, we're going to create what's called a leader, which is basically a bit of text connected to an arrow that points to an object in your scene. I'm continuing the project file called faucet, and I jumped here to the circle tab, and currently under leader here, there's a leader command right there in the annotations tab here. And if I click open the annotations button there, you see the leader style here is called standard. We're going to change that. We're going to click on that style there. And we're going to make a new formatted leader style. So hit new, and we'll call this label, and we'll base it on the standard style. Make it annotative and continue. And here we'll make some changes here. So starting with leader format, the leaders can be straight line segments, or they can be curved. Spline makes curves, but for the sake of this exercise, we're going to make them straight. It's always best to make them straight, I think. Under color, we're going to use, again, whenever you see the word by block, you want to change it to by layer. So whenever you create a leader, the color of the leader and the arrows are going to be based on the color of the layer that those objects are currently on. So we want to make sure this always says by layer. This here is a symbol at the end of the arrowhead there. It's called close fill. And this is the size. If I change this basically to a quarter, that arrow size there jumps up to a quarter. Makes it more visible. And then the break size, we won't use break size. Under leader structure, you typically want 2. So it breaks it, here, as opposed to if you do 3, it'll have another jog in the arrowhead, which is distracting, I think. Under here, set landing distance. Let's go ahead and change this to a quarter as well. And then under content, we'll leave that alone. Basically, it's going to use the mtext command. The text style here is using standard style. Actually, we will make a quick change here. We'll take the text style and we'll click on this button here and assign it to the text style called notes. So notes will be what this object will look like when it's typed out. And here we want to make sure this is by layer. And we do want to keep the text horizontal. No matter where you put the text in your drawing and you point to an object, the text will remain horizontal, which is a standard. So with that being said, again, this goes to notes, which we modified it in an earlier step. So these are the settings we're going to use. Leader structure, these are the settings here for 2. Again, it's annotative. Under leader format, these are the settings we're going to use here. Hit OK. I'm going to make that one current, set current, and hit close. So when I use the leader button, the current style will be activated, and it'll launch that command. Again, here, you see the current style in this label here. There's the multi-leader style command, and there's the current style it will launch when using the leader command. So if I go back here, and I go leader, and I point to something. Now here, it's going to point to snap. And here is where you might want to make some adjustments to your snapping. So for example here, if I'm dimensioning something with I'm annotating something with a leader line, you might want to turn all these off. And you might want to just focus on the one called near, which is the NEA snap. And that's here at the bottom. Turn that one on. Because when you move your mouse, anything near the mouse will be selected. So it doesn't have to be an endpoint, an intersection, or what have you. Obviously, you can launch a more precise leader using the snaps that are currently available. But I'm going to focus on near because I'm touching a circle and I want to be able to touch it anywhere I like, not necessarily on a quadrant or something or a center point. So I'm going to use near snap. So when I go to here and hit leader, you can see my mouse now looks like an hour-shaped glass. And anywhere I put the mouse will be snapped. That's a near snap. You don't want to use this for your projects typically, only for selecting objects at random locations. Click there, pull the line down, and then type your word. So for example, I'll call this, I'll call this circle. And I'll click on the screen. I click on that object and I can grab that little text, that little grip button next to the text, and I can pull it and readjust its location. I can put on the little arrowhead and make the text further away. And you can see here, I've launched a leader connected to that circle, and it's crystal clear what I'm pointing at. I can grab this little grip here and pull it back. I can make some adjustments with the arrowhead again, and I'll place the text wherever it is I like. You see here, for example, by grabbing that little grip there. Another neat thing about this is I can click on this here, and I can go add a leader. And you see here, with it selected, it adds a brand new leader, and I can point to something else. Again, it's using the near snap, so anything I click on will be selected here. And it'll keep doing it to my heart's content, unless you hit escape, escape, escape. Now, if you want to go back here, you can go to remove a leader, highlight one of them, for example, this one here, click that one there, make sure it's highlighted in blue, and when you hit enter, it'll remove it. There, it's gone. So that's remove. So either add or remove. And that is the extent of this exercise. Feel free to use the leader command to add notes to your drawings and point to objects that you're referring to. Also, do not forget to go back to your O-snaps here and turn on the commands that are useful to you. Things like endpoints and midpoints and perpendicular. You do not want to have near snap active at all times. That's on special occasions like the one we just completed. So do not use near snap. Okay, that's the end of this exercise, and we'll see you next class.